Good morning, pregame crew. How are y'all doing? It is Wednesday, November 30th, 2022, 6:21 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:21 a.m. Eastern Time. You are at the pregame show, and this is a show where we bring you technical analysis on the indices, commodities, crypto, movers and shakers of the day. It has a little bit of economic data, kind of sprinkled around. We try to get you ready for the trading day, let you know what are some outside factors that could impact price, like Uncle JPOW talking today. And we have the Beige book. We just had ADP numbers, which got a bullish reaction. And in 8 minutes, we have GDP. We have a full deck of economic events today. I will show you those. Actually, let me go do that right now. I will officially get started in 8 minutes. So, I forgot to put the link in the room. Sorry about that. Thanks, Jay. Okay, here it is. This is our chat room. So we just had ADP. We have GDP in 8 minutes. We have Chicago PMI at 9:45, JOLTS at 10 a.m. We have oil inventory at 10:30. We have Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaking at 1:30, and we have the Beige book at 2 p.m. Why do we emphasize all of these things if we say that price action is the most important aspect of trading? Well, it's even more important right now, this economic data, because we are in a low liquidity environment. So price can whip you around like, what is that, Jada Smith? I whip my hair back and forth. That is what the charts are doing. They are whipping back and forth. And this is a function of having so many computers in the game and algos that can act very quickly on keywords, and they have to go probe liquidity. So ADP numbers come out, and they have to go find where is a huge block of buyers, because they're cutting through these tiny orders like they're not even there. And so think of these wicks as syringes that they syringed into these overhead blocks. I'll try not to draw, I'll use a rectangle, but these overhead blocks think of a big block up at 39.80 and a little tiny block at 39.77. A tiny block over here at 39.74. So these algos, because they're punched in now, they cut through this tiny block, that tiny block, and they have to go to the big block, and they're like, oh, okay, so now we're going to syringe into that, see how many sellers are up there, and deplete that inventory. Okay, we're done buying up here while the sellers hand off. So you have to kind of, in your head, think about what's happening, what's going on, why is it so whippy? I'm getting tagged a lot. I hope everything's okay in our room. Let me make sure. Okay, everything's okay. Just got to make sure my people are okay. Okay, so I've already jumped in and I didn't say hello to one person. I just walked into your house, started eating dinner, and didn't even say hello and give you a warm greeting. So, in awesome Lori style, now I'm going to say hello to my friends. Good morning, Whitney, Bennett, Night Truck, Greg, Train Man Dan, Matthew, Andre, Alpha, Mary, Casey, Lisa. Hey, Nugget, how are ya? Inside joke. Hey, Paul, Mal, Wave, thank you for being here. Hey, Dofer, Basque, Night Truck. I said hello to you, but I want to say thank you for letting me know the AV is good, and thank you, Wave. Hi, D. Lee, Michael, Tosh, Whitney, Keith, Hunter, Mary, Scott, Fat N, Homebody, Anu. Good morning. How are you? Hey, Andre. Okay, now that I've said hello to my friends, I'll do a couple chart requests. Remember, in 5 minutes, we have GDP. So right now, the 4-hour picture has not changed. That spike was beautiful. 4-hour picture has not changed. Haven't even gotten over the 8 EMA on ES. We need to get over 399025 decisively in order to say, okay, bulls came to play. And we could keep getting smacked around. The day could literally look like this. Spike up, down, up, down. It could be all over the place every time that we have data come out. So stay on your toes, stay agile, and I would definitely size down today. Yeah, hit the like button. Okay, let me go back up. Man, when I pin something, I can't see the top. So I'm going to unpin that for a second so I can make sure I didn't miss any chart requests. Okay, I didn't. This is the last day to take advantage of our Black Friday sale, FYI. All my early risers, I appreciate y'all. Yeah, let's look at XOM. Oil had a good spike this morning. Man, these XLE charts, let me just tell you, and XOP charts, I have a bear bias, and I'm acknowledging it and admitting it. And y'all, that's half the battle in life, is just acknowledging and being honest with yourself. And especially in trading, be honest with yourself when you say, I have a bias and I'm looking through this with a particular lens, and just strip it down, and then don't trade it if the bias is present. So I have a bear bias on XLE right now, and it's one of my Queen of the Mountain trades. I recognize it's one of the stronger names out there with oil popping. So I'm going to abandon this short idea on XLE. XOM does not have as much relative strength as XLE. 111.80 is your hurdle to clear. And of course, after admitting to you that I have a bias, I would be a bear up here at 114.61. I'm trying to zoom in. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Why am I a bear? Look at this. When you have these bear breaks, which we had, and this could be a double bottom, but sure is setting up for, it has that diamond pattern, and Oxy has it even better. You see that? That pattern? I see that on a lot of these XLE charts. So it tells me trade them bearish if the setup is clear, or avoid because you have a bias. So just recognize that. I think I gave you the right technical analysis on XOM. Let's see who's next. Wolf had some great earnings this morning. And they are bullish. They are breaking over this 10-11 resistance. Your next resistance is $12. So great bull move. But what are the odds that we would clear $12? Low. It's low. Now, we could have a short squeeze going on, and that could definitely impact it. Let me look up the short float. Okay, Wolf. Short float is 20%, 19.94%, and this is typically 2 weeks old. So just know that it's slightly dated. So it could have a short squeeze. It could happen. If you're in long, stay in long as the 5-minute EMAs are below you. Just remember, anytime you give me a chart that's up 10, 15%, there is nothing, I can't responsibly tell you to short it unless there is like a clear level with a quick stop out where you have a small loss. I can't tell you to chase it up here. So if you tell me, let me just write this out because this happens a lot. Okay, if you tell me you have a gapper, let's call it a gapper, big bull move. Here's what I'm going to say. Here are your key levels. You could top fish key level only if you're close. Wait for 5-minute downtrend confirmation before entering. And if you're looking for a long, you could go long on a 15-minute higher low pullback. Like you have a big move up and then it stair steps down. You could look to enter on a stair step or on an EQ. But I'm going to tell you the same thing every time. If already long, stay in as long as 5-minute EMAs are below price. So I have to be as mechanical as possible when I'm giving you advice. I know sometimes I'll see the same chart and I'll give you advice, but I want you to know this is what I should be saying. Anytime you ask me about a gapper, this is what I should be saying. Just 1 second. I have to take care of something. Okay, I got stopped out of an ES long, which I know better. So we're pulling down on GDP right now. Let me go back. That was a bad move on my part. We're pulling down on GDP. If anybody has the GDP, can you put that in the chat, the YouTube chat? That would greatly appreciate it. Maybe someone did. There it is, homebody. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm not going to attempt to analyze this. We're going to have lots of data today. Let's just go with price action. We know a 4-hour lower high is the more likely scenario, so bad on me. I should be staying short. Okay. So let me give you your key levels. I got a little carried away there with more soapbox lessons, but it's the mood for the week, I guess. So the spike up high, 39.80. We have to hit 3990 to change this trend. And y'all, look what's above. All my regulars, what's here? What just rejected price in a big way with a huge downslope. Huge. Look at that. That's 45 degrees. The slope of the EMA is bearish on the market. The SOTIMA slope of the EMA is super bearish. We ran into the what? Giving y'all a chance to answer if you're interested. If not, no big deal. We ran into the hourly. Come on. There you go, wave. The Great Wall of Louisiana, the hourly 50 MA is what happened. We ran into it. So 4-hour lower high is most likely set. If we lose, yep, we lost a 15-minute uptrend. So now the 4-hour lower high is a more likely scenario. Again, this morning I have super energy, so I can already acknowledge I'm all over the place. So y'all just bear with me. So now I'm going to start the show officially a little late. Hi, this is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori. I'm part of the Chart Guys community and we teach technical analysis. I would love for you to give me a follow on Twitter at Chart Gal Lori, and I promise not to spam you. I promise to maybe slightly entertain you here and there. So you could check us out on Chart Guys. And today is the last day for our Black Friday sale. And if you need that link, it is pinned right here in chat. Click on that link. This is our only sale of the year, and this is our last day of the sale. You will get the Trade Keeper indicator, a beanie, orientation, and bottom line is you're going to get technical analysis trading education where you can teach yourself how to fish. You have 15 hours left on that sell, and I must say the Trade Keeper indicator I developed with our programmers, and I'm pretty proud of it. It is an indicator to keep you in a winning trade as long as the technicals are lining up, and it involves ATR, the Keltner channels, the EMA, and it's just a visual representation of how you can keep yourself in a winning trade. So check that link out, pinned in chat. Okay, so what I do here every day, let me move my notes over. I have notes that I've been typing for the last 3.5 hours getting ready for this show, and I go over indices, commodities, crypto, movers, and shakers of the day. When I'm done, I copy these notes. I put it in the TCG chat room for our members only. All Raina, I love you. So TIMA is slope of the EMA. Slope of the EMA, so TIMA. It's just an abbreviation, an acronym. So let me get rid of that. So if you're interested in my chart setup, you can click on the link below in the video description to receive a PDF explanation. All right, we have you know what? I'm showing my notes again today. I tell y'all I'm going to reserve it for TCG members. I'm going to be real strict about it next month, but I have a lot to tell you. So I'm going to show it. So let's start with ES. I told you that 4-hour lower high is the more likely scenario, and your key support is 394125. And if I were in the game of predicting, which I'm not, odds favor that we would form a higher low based on probabilities, and then I would just expect some type of tightening waiting for JPOW. We have the Beige book, we have JOLTS, we have other data coming out, but all eyes on Powell for the day. And again, if you're just arriving in the room, hit that like button. And I shared earlier that we have a big economic day, huge, lots of data. And it's very whippy because of low volatility. And I was watching Dan's video. He mentioned that someone shared with him it's possible for the World Cup. And I'm like, oh yeah, it is, because I have friends I know that are not trading. They're just sitting watching the World Cup until it's over. So that makes a lot of sense. So low liquidity environment, whippy. So ES 394125 is super important. And let's just back up and get our bearings. So ES has held daily support right here, 391250. It held it. Its buddy, NASDAQ, did not hold daily support. It broke 11,52650. Without QQQ, everybody else has to pull the wagon. Everybody. Because QQQ is the most heavily weighted. It may not stay like that with December rebalancing, but it's the most heavily weighted sector. So NASDAQ is bearish. So basically that tells you when you start off the day, if you're looking for a short, pick a tech name. If you're looking for a long, as of this morning's chart, pick a bank name. So this is how I try to visually convey to you what I'm looking at with the market. So let's walk through this. And this is arbitrary conviction here. This is based on my experience, and there's some subjectivity built in here. And if you did it, you could probably come out with a different score. But this is what I came up with this morning, slightly favoring the bulls. This 4-hour trend, I wish I could have changed this, but I don't want to change my modeling and my variables controls, but this should be a 20 today because this is super important to me. I have a slight bearish lean on the day despite these numbers and how they turned out. So let me tell you why. 4-hour downtrend. Did we just lose the hourly downtrend? We should have. Yes. So I'm going to go check that. So things change. Dixie, daily lower high is on deck. What happened with the dollar on that move? Do y'all see this? I've been watching, I think I had this on the 2-hour yesterday. This 2-hour rising wedge on the dollar. And it looks like it's trying to find its footing here with lower wicks of bulls buying the dip. But I'm basing my judgment call on the dollar on this possible daily lower high compared to 107.99. Odds favor a lower high. So with the dollar, I'm saying that's bullish for the market if that daily lower high develops. VIX hourly lower high, the more likely scenario. Let's go look at it. Look at the distance and size of this pullback from here. It got a double bottom on the hourly. From here to here, we pulled back almost $1. Odds favor some type of tightening pattern here, a lower high, because of the distance and the size of the retrace. You typically don't go from a higher high to a lower low. It happens every day, but it's not typical. From a higher high to a lower low, right back to a higher high. That was the proper statement. So wouldn't it make sense for this to tighten all day waiting for JPOW? Yeah. But that is a point in favor of market bulls because the hourly lower high is the most likely scenario. Plenty of room for a 4-hour higher low on the US 10-year. So it has a healthy chart. That's bad for bulls. Bitcoin was relatively strong overnight. Bonds, I have a mixed view. The daily is beautiful. Let me show you. That's right. So I can't call this a daily bull flag. It was looking like one, but when you see these upper wicks of profit taking, that's not what you want to see. That's not what you want to bring home to mama as a bull flag. So we do have room for a daily high or low. So that's bullish. But look at this 4-hour Michigas. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. So I opted out of voting here on the VIX. Nope, not the VIX. What was that? Bonds. I did not vote. I did not assign a rating on it because we have mixed signals on 4-hour and on daily. And if I had to, I would say it is a point for market bears based on that 4-hour ugly chart. So if I'm giving more weight to the daily chart, I uncheck it. So you can see how there is some subjectivity. Apple, which I normally don't, I do the indices first, but let's jump to Apple. I feel like this is the best I got for you today. I'm going to delete all this as far as analysis. So, I say when we have inside bars, these yellow candles are inside bars. You can have some whippy, unpredictable, volatile action on lower time frames. So we're closing the month of November today, an inside bar. No wonder Apple beat the heck out of us this month. Look at this stuff. Come on now. From here to here. Look at that. And I call that the drunk girl walking home from the bar in high heels, just falling all over the place because it is just playing bangarang within this range. And I am embarrassed to admit that I did not recognize the monthly inside bar before yesterday. So what a timely observation, Lori. What a moron. We have plenty of room for that monthly high or low, and it could be set, but the daily needs to shape up a little bit better. So now let's go to the weekly. Weekly, we have enough room for a high or low to form an EQ. We have enough room compared to 134.38, okay? So when we're looking for a weekly high or low, where do we go to find that? 4 hour oversold. Doesn't mean it will work. That is just a logical area to begin scouting a 4 hour high or low. So that made me check off Apple bullish. Does that make sense? So daily's a mess. It's disgusting. It's a mess. Elevated bear volume yesterday, and overnight, supposedly the Foxconn plant opened back up in China, giving it a little green here. I think an Apple long against 140 is my queen of the mountain trade, and I am more than willing to be wrong with all these economic data events coming out. Because it stayed within the range, Paul. So a monthly inside bar or a weekly or daily or whatever, you see that yellow one right there? If you look at the outside border, I don't know if you can see it. See the border is red. It is a red candle for the month. I paint it yellow so it can jump out at me in my eyes that, hey, this is a tightening range. So it appears as though unless Apple's going to take out 134.37 today or 157.50, we're going to close with a monthly inside bar, and then the next candle we'll see how it opens, most likely within that range as well. So I'm looking for that weekly high or low, and yesterday's low is 140.35. And if you've been around here a while, you know I know that Apple likes to break support and then reverse. Look above and fail, break below and reverse. So 140 is what I'm looking for a bottom fish, either against 140.35 or 140. Below 140, I'm super wrong, okay? So scouting a weekly higher low in 4 hour oversold conditions, that's the trade setup. So let me go back up. And I am all over the place, and I am very unapologetic about it. Okay, let's go back and finish this. QQQ is bearish. We lost our daily uptrend. Tesla, we have plenty of room for a daily high or low. We just need this Twitter drama to calm down a little bit. SMH, looking at it on the weekly, this thing is fine. It is absolutely fine. It's just sailing. If I cover one eye and squint with the other one, it could be a weekly bull flag, but that's me really pushing it. But this weekly has plenty of real estate for a higher low. Nvidia has plenty of room for a daily higher low, and that makes me give SMH a bullish tick. Hang Seng up 2% overnight. Where's the DAX right now? DAX is green. Put a little check there. XLE, I told you about the potential hourly rising wedge. What's oil doing? Okay. Oh, that should have been a bear. But that's gone now. That's gone. I didn't clean that up. This is bullish. Oil is ripping. It's over $81 now. That's bullish. XLF was strong this morning relative to XLV. Yeah, XLF is right here testing the high of yesterday. Strong. XLV was a little bit weaker. But it's not game over. Let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hours fine. Daily has plenty of room for higher low. I'm going to revise my points here. You see how subjective it can be? So we have a bullish read from the table waiting. All right. I only have 15 minutes left, and I'm not even done with the indices. I don't think I'm going to have time to do my soapbox education, or I may keep going. Let's see. So NASDAQ, I gave you the key levels. 4 hour, super important to stay on that 4 hour chart in my opinion. Bears are scouting a lower high compared to 11,704.50, and your key support now is 11,465 since we broke that daily support. RTY. Now I'm going to move my notes over so I can see them. RTY, I'm not losing sight that we have the weekly 50 MA overhead. Daily EQ, second daily inside bar forming. So look at this daily. Second daily inside bar forming, getting super tight. Hourly 50 MA is giving these indices fits. Okay, come on, mouse. Come on, you can do it. Now I'm going to go back to ES. Hourly 50 MA rejected price. NASDAQ is a little bit above. It's not that close because it's weaker. RTY, look at that. Smack. YM, smack. Hourly 50 MA is a problem. And YM, I'm on YM. The weekly broadening formation, that is a problem. Don't forget where we are on YM. If you don't trade futures, you can look at it on DIA. Look at it. That is, you could print for mom's fridge. A potential broadening formation, and we've got some resistance up here. Just because we broke 343.09 doesn't mean we don't have synthetic resistance up here. Okay. Bitcoin is strong, but I am not losing sight of this potential weekly bear flag. That is one for mom's refrigerator. This is ugly. Ugly. You see that daily higher high straight into an EMA? We teach that on bull flags and bear flags. So on a bear flag, if you get a bull break without follow through, zoom out to a higher time frame and look for a potential bear flag. Same thing on a bull flag. If you get a bear break in a bull flag without a lot of follow through, zoom out and look for a bull flag on a higher time frame. So I'm like, oh, goody, Bitcoin had a great night. Whoa, look at that. I don't like it. I'm a bear on Bitcoin despite having a beautiful overnight. Now, Ethereum is a little different. It's getting over that daily EMA. It did reject here at 1289.78. And I could make a comment, as long as it's below 1300, bears can feast. I'll make a comment similar. So Bitcoin, as long as we're below 17.5, bears can feast. No, you know what? Don't be so subjective, Lori, when we have math available to us. I was close. 17.791. As long as bulls are below 17.791, bears can feast. Gold. Gold is a little confusing for me because with the size of this pullback, I would expect a daily lower high, but the dollar's looking for a daily lower high. So it's like it's not unclear. So when they're both looking for a daily lower high, I back off of my gold trade setup because I realize I don't have an edge, and recognizing when you have an edge is super important. Okay, you want me to... Okay, let's do a poll. Oh, shoot, I already forgot how to do it. Tell me you're a boomer without telling me you're a boomer. Oh, got it. Okay. One second. All right. Here's a poll. Soapbox education today. Do you want me to go over the soapbox, or do you want me to just stick to the charts and skip it? Let's see what the poll says. Let's see. I'm getting some direct messages, so I'm waiting to see. Thanks, GN. Okay. All right, I'll keep going. So on oil, we have a potential daily inverse head and shoulders. And this is really cool when this happens. It doesn't always happen, but sometimes a mama pattern can have a baby pattern within it on a shorter time frame. Do y'all see how we are in the process of potentially forming an inverse head and shoulders on the daily? In the process of. And look, that mama had a baby. It looks better on the 6 hour. But look, that mama had a baby. We had an inverse head and shoulders on the 4 hour, confirming 81.95 is your next resistance, and your support is 77.08. Nat gas Gen X all the way. Okay, so nat gas. Oh, we have oil inventory today at 10:30. This daily chart looks very healthy. What did I say about nat gas? 4 hour sideways action, and the hourly 50 MA continues to just beat down price. This is a tough chart. I think I said it is ridiculously choppy. So daily chart looks fine. So if we're going to stick with that daily mentality, then you would be looking for a potential nat gas long. Apple beat it to death. Amazon, hourly EMAs are suppressing price. Bears are in control. We had that top fish set up yesterday. That worked out well. 91.44 is your support, and then 90.87. And this daily chart has no guarantee of a daily high or low compared to 90.59 because of how weak it's been at 8 EMA manhandling price. It is more bearish in nature. NVIDIA, plenty of real estate for a high or low. It's still my darling today. Still my darling for a potential daily high or low. Looking for that to happen. 155.20 is your support from yesterday, and that daily high or low 150.80. Hourly got oversold in after hours. If we would open up and really push down to hourly oversold or even 2 hour oversold, that's a great place to scout a potential daily high or low. Tesla. All right, Tesla has plenty of room for a daily high or low. I like it bullish. I like a bottom fish of 178.75. BA, let's see what was up. It's strong. It's up on news. It's breaking this daily inside bar. You see the yellow candle from yesterday, the high 175.95, and we're at 177.40 in pre-market. So I like a pullback buy on BA. Coin, Powell is speaking at 1:30 Eastern. Coin, they get no better than this. This is cutie patootie. Look at this little EQ. 4465 would be a bull break, and I am not a typical trader who enters on breaks. I like to enter on pullbacks or on extensions because I want better positioning closer to stops. I think you could possibly go for a bull break over 4465, but I still keep in the back of my mind, well, crap, Bitcoin on the weekly is still a potential bear flag. So I would be a cautious bull if you're playing this EQ. What does this look like on the 2 day? Is it a bear flag? Yep. Wow. You see that? We have 3 2-day inside bars. Man. I think, let me just think about this for a second. 1 second, let me look for any divergence. Nope. It's 6:54. Dan will be live in 6 minutes. I always try to be done by the time he is speaking, but today I'm not going to watch the clock, okay? So TCGers, if you want to leave whenever, of course you're more than able to leave whenever you want, but you won't hurt my feelings if you go listen to Dan. I think I'd top fish this. I would top fish against 44.90 because what could happen is you break 4465 and then you get stuck at 45. So I like a top fish of $45 on coin as the queen of the mountain trade along with the long on Apple. Those are my 2 favorite charts. Crowd getting beat down on earnings. I think I said ninjas only. Earnings fallout 108 has an area of support. You could wait for tightening ranges to develop for scalps or our favorite stair-step patterns. CVNA, shoot, it's already breaking the low of yesterday, 732. So my trade set up on CVNA, big downgrade. Bank of America, which is has a great reputation, downgraded it from $40 or $44 to $10 this morning. That is a major downgrade. This thing's just getting beat to death. So I like a entry on the break of the low. When you have some weakness like this, then I'm okay entering on that break, 732. Then you could put your stop somewhere at 736. So what I'd like to see is a bounce up, then come back, break 732, enter short, then put my stop on that bounce up level, wherever it tops out. And XLE is busted because of oil. Okay, that's all my charts. 80%. Okay. All right, so let's do a little soapbox education. After yesterday's, if you did not watch the pregame show yesterday, you may want to go back and watch the beginning of it. I introduced a concept of thinking of your trading. Your trading is a business, but thinking of your trading as a prop firm. How could you, if you were going to go trade for a prop firm today, a proprietary firm where you trade other people's money and you get a percentage of it, what would be the criteria for you to be able to earn a job there? Well, they would put you in a simulator, and once you demonstrate proficiency in the simulator with a system, a defined system, and keep it simple, then they give you real money. Okay, so now I've never traded for a prop firm, and I had people messaging me, TCG members. We have some prop firm members in the chat room were telling me that that's not how their prop firm works. Another one said, yes, it's exactly how my prop firm works. I've talked to a few people, but regardless of prop firm, forget about that. I'm trying to help you design a system where you earn your own money and you earn the right to trade while managing risk. The point of the experiment, i.e. testing proficiency, is to manage risk while learning. Once your benchmarks are achieved, then you can be entrusted with larger size, larger capital possibly, and or a larger stop loss. Timing is important for the hurdles to measure progression. So if you stay in the simulator or in this stage, let's say stage 1, if you can't get out of that simulator in 6 months, you got a problem. So here, after 60 days, you start, I mean, you have a problem, and maybe you need to put your stop loss down to $40. So you may have to go backwards in stages, and then you have to prove and keep measuring. I mean, think about it. If you're hiring an engineer or someone to work on the assembly line at Tesla, you're not just going to throw them on the floor and hand them a wrench and say, go for it. No, they have to prove proficiency and proper progression with time, that things are catching on, that they're just not staying stagnant. Okay, so stage 1, you could say, okay, I went over this yesterday, but I'm just giving a little more color. Max $50 stop loss per day. If hit, you're done for the day. You must achieve $2,000 within 60 days to demonstrate proficiency progression to then go to stage 2. Stage 2 is, let's say that you now have, because you made $2,000, you have $12,000. You can increase your stop loss, $75. If hit, you're done for the day. You must achieve $3,000 within 60 days to demonstrate proficiency progression. This is total arbitrary numbers I picked out of the sky. But the ratios kind of show you what I'm thinking about as it relates to proving that you have a bona fide system and your psychological issues are improving. The key for this to work, and I may tweet this out because this is the details that people don't articulate in trading that are so important. And I really contemplate and I make time to think. You have to allow and give yourself time to think. You don't just wake up and start trading. You have to stop and think. And that's what I do for this pregame show. What value can I bring to the listeners? And I do this inside the chat room every day as well. And I'm not saying I hit the nail on the head every time. Sometimes it's a big old miss, but I'm trying. So the key for any of this to work and any trading mastery is to recognize when to press it and when to pump the brakes. Trade discernment, did I spell that right? Yeah. And conviction is a muscle that must be strengthened. Y'all, I could say this 10 times over, and I could not emphasize the importance of this enough. I guess if I do the close mic talk, but knowing when to press it and when to pump the brakes. I think in the prop firm with Bella, SMB trading, I think he says they have on the wall, when you get the right pitch, swing and swing hard. Okay? Think about that. That doesn't mean go balls to the wall with risk. It means when you see a high conviction setup, press it. We have a member that has been interviewed, so I can say his name, Devin, who saw major opportunities in crypto and he pressed it, meaning he let it ride. He increased his position size slightly. So saying, okay, this is a high conviction trade. Now your discernment, look around. Is the market in line with this high conviction trade? And then freaking swing that bat as hard as you can. Some people can get out of this within a day or two. I mean, that's difficult, but they could get out of this within a week, 2 weeks out of that stage because they wait and they're like a tiger in the bushes waiting to pounce on the honey badger. Maybe a bad example of the honey badger, but you get my point. So that's your soapbox education. I hope it helps someone. I'm glad you're here. Don't forget about the Black Friday sale, and that link is right here. And this will be the last day I'm mentioning it because it expires at midnight today. I love you all, and use stop losses.